Hello everyone and welcome to the 3007 video editing workshop for 2023. So this year we will be having a two-part series for the basics editing, which is today. The first part is done in Premiere Pro and the second part is done in CapCut. So CapCut is actually a phone software and we decided to add it this year because we realized that it's actually a good alternative if you're not interested in using Premiere Pro, or if Premiere Pro is a bit too much for you guys, or if it's like not essential to your project. Maybe CapCut is the easier way for you to go. If your editing is super easy, you won't need Premiere Pro, stuff like that. So we just gave you two applications to use. Whichever you want is up to you. Secondly, I would say that these videos are more of a base for you to use just to get into the world of editing. From these videos, you will have an idea of what you're doing, and from then you can research your own ways to add in specific effects or like techniques that you need to show in your video. There will also be a slightly more intermediate editing workshop next week for Premiere Pro if you're interested, but otherwise you can definitely use this week as a base to figure out how to edit any of the videos that you require for your DTI project. Good luck!
Hello everyone, welcome to 3007 Videography Series. In today's series, I'll be teaching you how to use Premiere Pro 2022 to edit your 3007 videos. So what you'll learn today: first, I'll teach you how to create a new project, file management, importing, layouts and panels. Next, create a new sequence, manipulating clips on the timeline, use of tools, and lastly, layers, effects and audio editing. So first, let us watch a video demo.
Tired of small spray bottles? Throw it! Introducing Mega Spray. You can get it for just $2.50. Grab yours now.
Okay, so I'll be teaching you how to create this short and simple video demo from scratch. The first thing you'll do is to create a new project. Let us name the project 3007 video demo. And choose where you want to locate the file and keep to the default settings. Now that we have entered our workspace, the first thing we want to do is to import our clips for the video. So we go to Files, Import, and select the clips that we want to include in our video and press Open. Now that we can see all of our selected clips are in this place called Project Bin to store our imported clips. Next, we will create a new sequence by pressing on New Item, Sequence. Here, there are a lot of available presets, but the recommended one is this ARRI 1080p 23.976 fps. Okay, we click OK and this is our new sequence. And now we can drag our selected clips onto the timeline to edit. We will just keep to the existing settings. We can press space to play the clips, or we can drag this blue slider to anywhere and the program monitor will show current frame of timeline. Notice that the clips now are not in sequence, so what we can do is that we can use the selection tool V to select on the clip and drag it. Since that they are in the correct sequence, let's select everything and drag it to the front. Notice that audio are not necessary in this video as we'll be doing a voiceover, therefore we can select it and delete. Next, we'll import our voiceover and drag it onto the timeline. Notice that our video are much longer than the actual voiceover. Therefore, we have to cut the clips accordingly to match the audio. We can use this razor tool and cut the clips accordingly. We can select the clips and press delete to to delete the clips. We can press on the blank space and delete so that the clips will fill up the empty spaces. Okay, let's hit on space to see what's
Tired of small spray bottles? Throw it! Introducing Mega Spray. You can get it for just $2.50. Grab yours now.
Okay. Now we can cut the unnecessary parts from the back. Okay. Now that we have done with the syncing of audios, let's select everything and drag it to the back to create an opening for the video. We start by creating a blank background. We go to New Item, Color Matte, OK. And let's choose a white background. Therefore, color picker, choose white. And we'll have a white background here. Let's drag it to the timeline and make it shorter. Next, let us add a text to the white background. You can choose the type tool and press on the program monitor. And the settings are here. Let us choose a black color for the text. We can also choose the font size, the font, and the font color. 377 video demo. And we press the selection tool and we can move the text around. Lastly, let us add some effects to our video for smooth transition. Let's go to the effects panel here. And on the right, you can see that there are many effects files, from audio effects, audio transitions, video effects, and video transitions. So let's search for an effect called Film Dissolve. And select and drag it to our opening here. And when you play, we notice that there is a fade from black to white. Next, let us add a transition in between videos. One transition that I recommend is the cross dissolve. Once again, select and drag it in between the clips that you want to transition. And when you play it, you notice that there is a transition effect. You can also click onto the transition and adjust the duration and alignment if necessary, but for now, let's just keep to the default. And lastly, we'll end off with a dip to black effect. Select and drag to the back of the clip. This effect will dip to black. It is often used at the end of the video. That's all for today's series. On next week's series, we'll be learning color correction, captions, and finally exporting the video. Thank you.
And then for color correction, we'll be just looking at the basic color correction. So in this case, just the white balance, as well as changing the settings for exposure and contrast. The other settings such as highlight, shadow, we will not do it today. If you are interested, I have uploaded a YouTube link in the slides and you can take a look at it. Okay, but today we will look at how to adjust white balance as well as exposure and contrast. Okay, so we'll be using this eyedropper tool first. So the eyedropper tool is to adjust the white balance, and you can just click it and then just eyedrop it onto somewhere that is supposed to be white. In this case, this paper is supposed to be white. So if you just pressed it, right, the temperature and the tint of this footage changes. It looks less warm now. Okay, next you press to this lumetri scope. Okay, you can see the red, green, and blue as well as black and white. Okay, so for exposure, how do you change it, right? Is how exposed or underexposed it is. So a shortcut, right? If you want to go back to its original instead of tuning back, you can just double click it. Okay, so how much exposure should you set, right? Do not go too overexposed or underexposed. Try to adjust it such that the maximum doesn't exceed more than 90 and the minimum does not go beneath 10. Okay, so you can just either look at this depending on this black and white graph, or you just use your naked eyes and judge lah, do the judgment, right? Okay, so I think this is fine. Okay, next you can adjust the contrast, right? Same thing, right? Don't overdo it, right? Overdo it will looks like this. Okay, just yeah. Okay, so in this case, I think this is fine. Okay, yeah. So let's compare the before and after color correction. Right, before it looks like this, after it looks like this, and I apply the same way of adjusting white balance, exposure, and contrast to the behind two clips. Right, you can compare the before and after. Right, before is this, after is this. So sometimes when you take video, right, you may end up taking in places that is too dark or is too bright. Like you can adjust the exposure, but try not to rely too much on post editing. You should try to still take right at the optimum settings as possible. Okay, so next, okay, that's all for color correction. So next we'll proceed on to adding subtitles. So what do? You click on to the captions and graphics tab. Okay, let's start from here. Press text. Okay, you can add by adding the plus. Okay, so how do you adjust it? Just double click, right? What did I say? Sorry.
Tire or small spray bottles.
Okay, tire or small spray bottle. Double click. Okay, so if you don't like this font or you don't like this size, you want to adjust, yeah, feel free. You can adjust it here under the essential graphics window. Okay, text, right? You can change the font type that you want. Okay, adjust the size here, right? And then the color of it, you can adjust it also, up to you. Okay, add strokes if you want. If you don't like, the shadows or like the color, okay, you can add background if you want, right? Okay, then you can continue on adding subtitle for the rest of the clips. Okay, you can either extend this clip.
Throw it.
Right. So you can either press the C, which is the cut function, to cut it, right? Or the other way is you can split the captions. Either way, which is more convenient for you, right? Okay. And then you just applied it for the rest of the clip lah. I trust that all of you know how to do it, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's quite simple. Next we'll move on to, if you watch the video, right?
Mega spray.
You see this thing right here? Okay, so it's the text right below here is called the lower third. So how do you add it in? You can go to browse under essential graphics too. Okay. Go to browse. There are already templates inside Premiere Pro. It's called basic lower third. Okay, you can drag it in, right? And you can just change, right? Mega spray, right? Title of your product, or if you happen to interview people, you want to put in their name, their position, right? You can do this, then you can change. Same thing, if you don't like the font, you can change. If you don't like the color, the font size, right? You can adjust it all in this edit tab. Okay. Then if you look back at the video, other than lower third, you have this thing that pops up, right? This is called call out titles. Call out titles are extremely useful for product videos, correct? Okay, so how do you add in this in? You can do it manually in After Effects, which is another Adobe software. If you don't want to use After Effects, you can check out websites like this that have call out templates for Premiere Pro for free. Right, there are so many. So for example, just this one, right? I download it. So once you download it, you should see such file, like maybe a preview, and more importantly, this is the file that we want. It's the motion graphics template file. You can import it inside, okay, either by go browse, right? You can just copy it in. Another method is you can click right here, add, right, and then you can open this file right here, okay? So once you have copied it in, you can just drag it right here. Okay, yes. Okay, just wait a moment. Okay, right. And how do you edit this text? Just go to edit. I just click this. You can click and then just change, right, 250, and then cheap and good. Right. Same thing. If you don't like the font, you can change it. Yeah, up to you, right? Okay. So you can adjust other stuff such as how big and how small the circle is. Adjust the length, right, the position of all the stuff, up to you. So now it's at the center. So how do you shift it to the sides, right, or shift to anywhere you want? Go to effect control right here, and then go to scale. You can make it scale, and then position this thing, right? Okay, just so simple. And if sometimes it lags, right, when you play, right, what you can do is just press enter. See this thing, right, rendering. So once it render finished, this part here will turn green lah. That's when you know it's finished rendering.
Mega Spray. You can get it for just $2.50.
Okay, yeah. So that's all for today's session. If you got any questions, feel free to telegram me at in here. Okay. If not, that's the end of the videography series. On behalf of production, we wish you all the best for 3007. Yes, thank you. Oh my god, so sorry. I forgot to teach how to export. Okay, so how to export, right? You can just remember to click on this sequence. Okay, ensure there is the blue outline around this sequence box here, and then click on file, then export, then media. Okay, you should see a export setting window pop up. Okay, ensure that the format is this H.264, preset a high bit rate. Okay, and then click onto output name. Ensure that it's being saved in the right folder and the name that you want your video to have. And then the rest you can keep as default. Okay, ensure that use maximum render quality is being checked, and then you can press export it. Okay, and once it's being exported, you should see that it's being saved. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is really, that's all. I'm so sorry.
Hi guys, I'm Jiarong. So today I'm going to teach you how to do some basic editing on CapCut, so you can edit using your phone. So first you put all of your footage into the app, and then after that rearrange everything. So you delete all the repeated footage and make sure everything is in the right orientation and in the right sequence. Then you run through all the footage and make sure that everything is in the right place before you start editing, otherwise you'll be very messy. So here you can see that I am running through my footage, and then if you want to rearrange, you can just hold on to the frame and then you drag it, and then if you want to cut or like delete, just click on the frame and then there will be a split or a delete button. If you want to add clips to a certain part of the video, just make sure that the white line is at the same place where you want to add the video, then click on the plus sign. Next, you might want to add text to your video so your audience know what is the focus of that part of the video. And there are many designs you can choose from fonts to animations. The sky is the limit, but don't spend too much time on it though. Try to standardize all the fonts in a video, otherwise you will look very messy and unorganized. If you want to stick to a theme, it will be better also, like a color theme and same font, and the graphics also like around the same. Try not to add too many words into the video, otherwise you'll just be a PowerPoint slide. So here I'm going to teach you how to add animation. Just tap on the animation. After that, you can choose how slow or fast you want your animation to be, or how long it lasts. After you add text, you might want to make it text to speech so you don't need to voice over like me. Text to speech is more suitable for videos that do not have a lot of text. So you can click on text to speech, which is under audio, and then you can choose whatever voice you want. You can click on the apply to all button on the bottom left just now to apply the text to speech to all of your text. You can also voice over if you find the AI too fake. It's over here, and you can even add voice effects to your own voice, make it sound scary, or if you want to play like different characters. I recommend to put the text to speech after you finish editing the whole video, because if you want to add more clips, then you have to adjust every single text to speech to match the video again. I also recommend that you write a script so you know what text you want to put instead of thinking on the spot. I think the adding text part took me the longest to edit this video because I didn't have a script. So if you have a script, you can just copy and paste, it'll be way faster than think on the spot on what to write. Another tip I want to teach you about text to speech is if your audio of the text to speech is longer than the clip itself, you can use freeze frame to make your clip longer so that the audio just nice fits the video. Or you can just slow down the video, but I think freeze frame is easier to adjust to the video than slowing down the speed of the video. Also, sometimes it's weird to suddenly have a slowed down video. I think freeze frame is more useful. Freeze frame is under edit. When you scroll all the way to the end, then there's a freeze frame, and then typically they give you a default of 3 seconds. Of course, you can adjust to whatever length you want. Sometimes when you use freeze frame, it will look like your video lagged for a second because it's short and sudden. So I recommend that we put stickers, animated stickers, so it doesn't look like it's lagging. It's not because the video is lagging, it's you purposely want to freeze at that frame. If you don't want to put stickers, you also can put sound effects, anything to tell the audience that it's not the video lagged. You also can zoom in and out of your video, just pinching it such that you zoom in during your freeze frame and then zoom out on your normal video.
Needed to make sure the colored cubes and the color lights make a nice color together.
Realize that the AI sound weird in that clip is because it's split into 2 different sentences, so it's reading it as 2 different sentences. In order for it to say it's 1 sentence, you have to type it in 1 sentence, so it doesn't have a weird pause in the middle.
Needed to make sure the colored cubes and the color lights make a nice color together.
Then after that, you can edit however you want your text to look like. 2 sentences, 3 sentences, don't even have the text at all. All is possible. And it wouldn't affect the text to speech at all.
Testing. Needed to make sure the colored cubes and the color lights make a nice color together.
You can also adjust the speed of the video by clicking edit under speed. There will be a normal or curve speed, right? Normal is just speed up 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, there's even 100 times. But the curve one, you can adjust the effect like slow to fast. It's good for displaying products. I won't be using it in this video. Another thing about text-to-speech is you have to type exactly what you want the AI to say.
Contestant 1, paint.
So I wanted the AI to say contestant number 1, but because I typed contestant 1, it's just gonna read contestant 1. So you just have to edit your text and then press text to speech again, and then you will reread the text.
Contestant number 1, paint.
Now you can readjust your text to what you want the text to display.
Contestant number 1, paint.
There are many animation options in CapCut, but they are usually used for photos. But if you freeze frame, you can also use it on your freeze frame. It'd be cool, but then in this video I won't be using it. You can just go check it out. It's quite interesting, quite fun to play with too. There's also option like caption and auto caption, but I don't recommend auto caption because in the end you will have to do a lot of editing by yourself, and then you might as well just type the caption by yourself. Also, there's filters and animation for your pictures, but don't apply too much to a video because it will just look very chaotic. There's a lot of easy to use functions in CapCut that you can play with, like these. You can combine an in and out or combo animation, but kind of looks messy. It depends on what kind of video you want to make. Next is adding audio to your videos. You can just simply click audio and add sound, and you can search for all the audios that you want. Even import from TikTok or your own videos. You can even get copyright music by screen recording Spotify and then use the music, but then you probably can't post it on social media. You just keep it for yourself. But that's one way I use to add copyright music into my videos. But CapCut alone has a lot of options already, so I don't think you even need the copyright music. Yeah, you can search things like lo-fi, or like even you want like a Ariana Grande like tune. You can even search for that, and they will have like a piano version of their songs. You can even search for sound effect like boom, or like clapping, cheering, drum rolls. But CapCut has its limits, and it only can do very basic editing for like convenience sake. So if you want to learn more advanced editing, stay tuned for next week's productions video, where they will teach you how to use more advanced tools to make your video. I'm gonna show you all the end product of my editing. Thanks for watching, hope you liked it. See you all next week. Bye bye.
Documentation of the design of the cubes. Step 1. Deciding what material to buy. What we wanted. 1. Transparent or translucent for light to pass through. 2. Allow colored lights to mix with the color of the cube. Step 2. Buying materials. Now to test our small cubes. Bought acrylic candy boxes. That is exactly a cube. Step 3. Testing. Needed to make sure the colored cubes and the color lights make a nice color together. Preparing the different mediums. Contestant number 1, paint. The color of the light and the paint hardly mix, and it looks streaky. Contestant number 2, colored paper, too opaque, light cannot pass through at all. Even if light did pass through, the result in color was not what we were looking for. Contestant number 3, translucent colored post-its. We bought 2 different types of post-its for each color: red, blue, yellow. The color of the light was overpowering. The color of the post-it. We decided to adjust the light instead by changing the brightness and the shade of the lights to complement the post-its. It turned out great. Testing different shades of red light. This red was too overpowering. This yellow light was too light. We came up with the perfect formula for the number of post-its per cube. Here's the results. Presenting the different colors of the rainbow.